Down this road, on a summer day in 1944, the soldiers came. They stayed only a few hours, but when they left, 1,000 years of a community lay in ruins.
I think Greenland will be worked out with us. I think we're going to have it. And I think the people want to be with us. As you know, there's 55,000 people there that want to be with us. I don't know really what claim Denmark has to it, but it would be a very unfriendly act if they didn't allow that to happen, because that's for protection of the free world.
And I will never go back on the statement that Russians and Ukrainians are one people.
The world has seen what happens when lunatics with power make threats, and we ignore them. When we laugh, dismiss, or assume they won't follow through, the cost is measured in lives, sovereignty, and history lost. Donald Trump this week has said Greenlanders want to be American, and in recent years Putin said Ukrainians want to be Russian. And in the not so recent past, Hitler demanded that Austrians wanted to be German, as well as people in Czechoslovakia. And instead of listening to those warnings, people in the 1940s signed peace treaties and made agreements with the devil. And today, some people, like Albie, think we can trust rhetoric like this. Some people, like Albie, have learned nothing from history. So in this video, we're going to analyse the debate between Marina Purkiss and Albie Amakona, and his dismissive remarks about Trump's rhetoric. Because this isn't just about Greenland, it's about the alarming ease with which some dismiss historical parallels, even when they're right in front of us. Have a listen to this.
He will do whatever benefits him.
Well, he's the most powerful person in the world, so we've got to work with him. What do you think, Albie?
Yes, I think we have to trust the American president. This is a very serious question that we're asking here.
The one thing he got right is that this is a very serious question, but apart from that, Albie's out of his depth.
We're going to build the wall. We have no choice.
One of the many promises Trump made throughout his campaign that he never delivered on. He never built that wall.
So, we're going to build it. Who's going to pay for the wall? 100%. By the way, 100%.
Mexico never paid for that wall. He promised to drain the swamp.
Under my administration, we're fighting against the lobbyists, the special interests, and the corrupt Washington politics. We are going to Washington, D.C., and we are going to drain the swamp.
Michael Cohen, the president's longtime personal attorney, made millions of dollars by promising access to his client, the president.
Lobbyists and special interests.
And you want to get rid of all of that?
I don't like it.
His sales pitch went something like this, quote, "I don't know who's been representing you, but you should fire them all. I'm the guy you should hire. I'm closest to the president. I'm his personal lawyer."
Access and favors were sold for cash. It's called pay for play.
The company's paid Cohen around $2 million.
No longer will we accept a broken system that benefits consultants and lobbyists. The consultants that suck up all that money, oh, they suck it up. They're so good.
The firm hired Michael Cohen as a business consultant.
Cohen was a hired consultant.
Labeling themselves as consultants and advisors when we all know that really what they are is lobbyists. I will tell you that the consultants are rich people.
And let's not forget Trump's willingness to use violence to get what he wants.
They were peaceful people. These were great people. The crowd was unbelievable. And I mentioned the word love. The love in the air. I've never seen anything like it.
If he's willing to betray his own citizens to maintain power, why would he respect Greenland or any other country's sovereignty?
Because essentially what Marina is saying is that we should ditch the special relationship.
Did not say that.
Because she didn't like the result. She didn't like the result of the election.
Please don't put words in my mouth. I have not said that.
He's deducing.
I have not said that.
That's what I'm deducing from what you're saying.
Listen to my... Okay, let me speak.
Marina, let him finish.
I've not finished.
I'll come back to you, I promise.
Then you can come back with some silly comeback when I've made my point. Otherwise, what you're saying is the British Prime Minister cannot trust the American President, which would mean the end of the special relationship, which is what anyone would deduce from what you have just said. So do you want to scrap the special relationship because you wish Kamala Harris had won?
No, and stop. I mean, you're really simpleton like reductions there.
Yeah.
So just maybe grow up a little bit.
The so-called special relationship has always been a one-way street, and if Albie had ever read a book or any history, he would know that. The US expects the UK to always fall in line, but when has the reverse ever been true? So, for example, the Iraq War, the UK followed the US into a disastrous conflict. Afghanistan, exactly the same. And when it came to trade disputes, the US has rarely made any concessions to the UK, even post-Brexit. And under Trump, that special relationship has become even more transactional. It's never about shared values, it's about do as America says, not as we do.
So, no, I understand the role of diplomacy. I understand the game that needs to be played here. All I'm saying is be very conscious of the fact that Trump is untrustable. He is a liar, he's a proven liar, and he is volatile. This is a man who at the moment is talking about, he's threatening to invade Greenland, an area that is a territory that is occupied by a NATO country. Right? This man is not to be trusted, Albie. I'm not saying we just
he wouldn't invade.
No.
That's a good one to start. We've got to be quite sophisticated about reading Trump, haven't we? OK, we know he's not going to invade Greenland. Let's not be silly about it. He's trolling us to get us talking about it. He's saying, you know, we might consider it. I don't know. But he's not going to, because they've already got a base there, and it would be World War III or some weird version of it.
They used the exact same arguments when Hitler took the Rhineland, when Hitler took Austria, when Hitler took Czechoslovakia. He'll never do it. It's just talk. It's just a position that he's taking to be able to negotiate.
So let's read between the lines here. He's not going to invade Greenland.
So you're saying, so this is how trustworthy he is, that we can't believe what he says. Well done, thank you, Jeremy. Case in point.
Boom. Nailed it. Well done, Marina.
Yeah, but that's true, Albie. Let's take him on his merits. Let's accept what he says on face value. He is going to invade Greenland, so we cannot trust him.
Yes, but we all know he's not going to invade Greenland. And I think what's really irritating is when intelligent people like Marina make points like he's going to invade a NATO country.
I said he's threatening to.
He's not going to invade Greenland. He started a conversation about the northern corridor in the Arctic Sea, which is very important. We might not like the way he started the conversation, but it's an important conversation to have.
Is it? Imagine if Trump was saying that he wanted to take Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Would we be saying the same thing? Here's what some Greenlanders actually thought of Donald Trump trying to take over.
I hate it. And basically, I don't know what he's aiming at.
Me personally, I want to stick with Danish government.
Well, most of the people that we talked with said that they did not support Trump's comments and found them offensive.
The Prime Minister of Greenland says that his people do not want to be Americans.
Trump, listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put it in words you might understand. Mr. Trump, off.
But it's interesting because Albie's got a little bit of a point here, which I'm going to crush afterwards.
He's also playing on something that a lot of people in Greenland are quite angry about. If you speak to Greenlanders, they're actually very annoyed at the relationship they have with Denmark. So we can't take everything Trump says at face value. Maybe you say that's untrustworthy. Other people might say that it's a clever diplomatic tool.
The problem with that is, and the reason I'm showing Homer Simpson, he seems to be giving a lot of credit to Donald Trump, who's frankly an idiot like Homer Simpson.
All right, Homer. You can have the dental plan on one condition. You must resign as head of the union. Smithers, I'm beginning to think that Homer Simpson was not the brilliant tactician I thought he was.
But the point is, I think if you're saying we can't trust Donald Trump, then why wouldn't you advocate for the ending of the special relationship?
Well, Albie, it might come as a surprise to you, but America is more than just Donald Trump. For example, Congress is arguably meant to be more powerful than the president, as well as all the millions of people that vote for both Donald and Congress. It's also important to note that Congress has to ratify any trade deals that Donald Trump makes, and if those trade deals do anything to affect Northern Ireland and the Good Friday Agreement, you might kiss that trade deal goodbye. Trump's comments about Greenland aren't just trolling, they reflect a dangerous mindset we've seen before, and the idea that the UK should blindly trust someone like him in the name of a special relationship is a fantasy. Diplomacy in history and in 2025 isn't about appeasing volatile leaders or clinging to outdated alliances, it's about recognising the lessons of history, holding leaders accountable, and rejecting naivety in favour of critical thinking. If we take people like Trump at face value, we might just repeat the mistakes of the past, and the cost will be even greater. On that note, thanks very much for listening. Bye for now.